Greetings, community, and welcome to Entropy and Comics and another edition of this week's signed books. And this week, I end up meeting a few people. One of which I ended up meeting at the last major event I went to, which was at a party. Essentially, what it was. It was considered the Revenge of Comics and Pinball block party. There, I ended up seeing many of people, but one in particular, I ended up seeing Lee Luridge, in which that I knew that I was going to see him at another signing event. And there I end up not only getting just one book signed, but end up talking to him and a few others that were there that I knew were going to be at another signing event. Now, before in which I totally get into everything that's transpired, I want to go ahead and say, hey, I thank everyone that cruised on through. Without you, it'd only be half as much as fun as it actually really is. Now, that stated, let's go ahead and get into the story. So, as I stated, I went to a signing event. At the signing event, I end up seeing let's see, the total amount of people was four. It was Laszlo, Chris Anderson, Lee Luridge, and Shelley Bond. Um, it looks like there's maybe one, two, three, and four. Yeah, there's Laszlo. All right, got everybody here. Now I end up getting a ashcan sign to this book at the Revenge of Comics and Pinball, which should be behind me somewhere. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Whoa, I think there was someone else there. Laszlo, Anderson, Lou Ridge, Shelley Bond. Yeah, that was it, right? So this was the ash can that I got. And when I ended up getting this, there was only a few that were being handed out. Laszlo ended up hitting me up, hey, where I get that? He and I had a nice little conversation, told him I'd end up seeing him in about a week. And there, a week later, I ended up getting this sign. So this is a new book that came out a couple of weeks ago. I'm anxious to get into it. I did flip through the ashcan preview. It seemed rather interesting, really cool. Love the color, love the palette. I am a massive Lee Luridge fan. He does wonderful jobs when it comes with coloring. I'm always impressed. He's definitely a veteran, and he seems to really know not only the business but the individuals in the field. He has a way of just understanding what a lot of individuals, meaning artists and or creators themselves, are really looking for to extrapolate from their stories and in the actual art slash coloring. And Lee, in my opinion, does a masterful job in many of the cases. Put these away. All right, now, as I said, I ended up getting a couple signed. I'll probably end up giving one away soon. For those of you that cruise on through on the live, I just get a bonus find out. As I went to the signing event to go get that book that I showed you sign, I knew there was going to be a bunch of people there. However, I wanted Lee Luridge's signature on a bunch of books that I've been collecting of his. Let's go ahead and start out with kind of almost working backwards. The Energon Universe type stuff. I end up getting not only that one done, but that one done, which is a nice 1 to 10. Lee has a really tiny signature. And I like in the case of many signatures that I get from many other people, I like it for what it is and how he does it. So yeah, he has this way of extenuating and not being necessarily intrusive with the signatures upon the covers in which that he signs, and I kind of think that's pretty cool. I definitely got a few of these and decided to go ahead and sign it in the same place, which I kind of like. Consistency, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I ended up getting a few of those. He ended up signing everything that I brought him. Also made mention that in the future, whatever I essentially bring him, you end up signing. I thought that was really, really kind, especially as many books that I have and as many of the years in which that he's been doing work. I don't think he really realized what he agreed to. That stated, I ended up getting a bunch of Philadelphia books signed. Now, this is actually a bigger news aspect to this clip. As I make mention in pretty much every one of the signature things that I do here as far as the episodes and shows that are concerned, I usually try to give a little bit of tidbit of information that most individuals don't get to receive necessarily, especially when they don't have access to individuals as I do. That stated, I end up speaking to Lee. I end up having him sign many a books of the Philadelphia stuff. As I show you the books that he end up signing, he's right there in the center of this Philadelphia. He started, if I recall, somewhere in like the 20s, 24, 25, somewhere around there. And I'm trying to remember who he ended up taking over for that state. It doesn't really matter, in my opinion, at the moment, because of the news that I want to give. I made mention of how much I not only appreciate the story, but how much I would love to see it back. With the reply that I didn't expect, he said, "Hey, as it stands right now, once Rodney is done with the Crownsville and another project, what is that, 30 days? It looks like he's coming back. He's coming back to Philadelphia." This is a story that ended up on issue 36, did 6 full volumes, and as it stands right now, from what Lee was telling me, it looks to come back. Now, I am there's the signature right there, very much anticipating the return of Philadelphia, as I made mention to Lee, and many a times in the past to Rodney. It's one of my favorite ongoing series. There he is right there. Definitely got to get Rodney to sign some of these things. There are a couple books that I did have Rodney signed way back in the past, and I just have Lee sign, which is in the case of right here. Rodney signed it way long ago, and then I just had Lee recently sign it there. I'm still looking to go ahead and get basically Jason Sean Alexander's signature on a lot of these things. People, they know I'm busy. So here's one right here, Jason Sean Alexander there, Rodney there, and then I got Lee right there. So I did get this one triple signed along with this one. So that first one I showed you was a second print. This one I'm showing, oh no, this is the second print. The first one I showed you was the first print, and I got 2 of those. And yes, they are triple signed. As you know, I'm a massive signature slut. It's one of my major things to go ahead and get people to go ahead and write all over my stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to actually Rodney signing that one. That one, it has. Yeah, Black and White New York. Jason just killed it with a lot of this stuff. I'm just saying. And then yeah, Lee's right there. Again, I like where his placement is on a lot of his signatures. It's really, really cool. And I'm looking forward to this returning, as I said before. So, as I made mention, it is definitely one of my favorite ongoing series. As I was telling Lee, I love the fact of how Jason and Rodney tie in these classic forefather figures into the storyline, and we end up reinventing their objectives and how they stood for our country and themselves and patriotism, and it reformulates everything we thought about these people. I have such a massive fun with that. There he is. He's way down there. I love this cover. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, I want Jason to definitely sign that one. And then this is the last one right here. This is also one of my favorite covers. And then if I recall, Lee did right there. Yeah, right on the finish. Right on the finish. Kind of cool, huh? So yeah, those are all the books that I ended up getting signed. I am going to get more signed by Lee down the road. He doesn't necessarily do a whole lot of signing events. He tends to do 1, maybe 2 a year around here. I don't even see him at the cons on the normal. I really like the guy. He's a real nice dude. I didn't get to actually shoot it with him. He does play music, if I recall. I think he might be a bass player. He does play the metal genre stuff, much like myself. I almost wanted to hit him up and say, "Hey, dude, you want to jam?" He definitely has a similar style on mine. The fact that he has a lot of similar interests just kind of blew me away. We spoke for quite a long time that night, and yeah, I always love seeing Lee. He's such a cool dude, and like I said, he signed all my stuff. Just saying, it just was more generous, truly. For those of which that cruise on through, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. I truly do. And to Laszlo, Chris Anderson, Lila Ridge, Shelley Bond, all those that contributed to the book, all those that assigned my book, I greatly appreciate you. I truly do. And again, that's it for me. Entropy, you stay well until next time. Bye.